Howdy Tamers, and welcome to another LostinTranslationmon BeatBreak podcast. This time I'm going to be covering Digimon BeatBreak episode 2, Glowing Dawn. This time I'm once again joined by my buddy Guz. Guz, we got the PNG tuber working, hopefully.
Sort of, yeah.
Sort of.
Unfortunately, I've got a pretty jank setup, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you talk, my microphone will just pick it up. So this is the best that I can do with what I've got, and we'll work on it in the future. But for right now, just imagine me making fun of you when you speak.
Yeah, it'll just be like you're
when
mimicking
you talk and then it starts moving. Yeah.
Hopefully it's not too bad.
It's horrendous. This may have immediately backfired.
I'm looking at the levels on OBS, and it's like the desktop audio is not going up when I'm talking, only the microphone audio is. So yeah. I think it should at least sound good, and it's just I'm every so often I'm just looking at YouTube and I'm like, I'm not talking. It's the substitute plushie is talking for both of us. Beautiful. But in any case...
He's substituting for me, that's for sure. I've just tried to turn my speakers down to see if that would fix it. Sorry, team. We're doing live troubleshooting. How good.
Yeah. Oh, to be fair, I love computers. I work in IT, but as soon as I have to actually do it for my own stuff, I'm just like, I've forgotten how to use computers completely. But anyway, So a quick synopsis of this episode is that tomorrow joins the Glowing Dawn. They are a group of cleaners that deal with Digimon-related incidents. Tomorrow and Gekomon are ambushed by the Mushroom Gang, or the Kanoko Gang. They're just a bunch of guys that have Mushroom-mon. Oh, voice just broke, that's cool. And Shamblemon. But they're saved by the Glowing Dawn. And that's this last week's episode. And just quickly, I'm recording this just like, I think episode 3 just came out in Japan a few hours ago, but we're still a few hours away from the Crunchyroll release. But yeah, so obviously we won't be talking about episode 3 because we'll be doing that for the episode 3 coverage. So when we talk about our predictions, this will be releasing publicly when episode 3 is out, but as of recording this, it's out in Japan, but it's not out on Crunchyroll. But in any case, discussions and decisions, what were our highlights for this week's episode? Because I love the animation. I feel like so far the animation has been incredible.
Yeah, no, the animation's been really just... I'm glad the first episode wasn't an outlier for the animation quality. But, I guess... The highlight is, for this episode, for what it is, which is meet the team.
Yes.
We got so many answers for a lot of the questions we posed in the previous episodes so quickly, right? What happened to the girl? What happened to the brother? What happens when your e-pulse gets drained? Where do you go? What's happening? And obviously it posits more questions. But it was actually really cool to just follow that up with nothing but boom, 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 boom answers. Because I care about it from a story perspective.
Oh,
so
it was great for world building and setting the scene about, okay, so how prevalent are these Digimon incidents, that kind of thing. It also had is this the only group of cleaners? No, there are other groups, there are other people with Digimon. This isn't like in every other series of Digimon where there's hey, these 5 people have Digimon, but nobody else does. And it definitely is similar, and I said this in last week's episode, is that it has that Savers feel of Digimon and humans kind of getting up to evil stuff together. And they're kind of, going on heists and stuff and being bad and naughty. But there are other groups other than just the Glowing Dawn, so it seems more spread out in terms of humans having Digimon. It seems more of a common thing than in previous seasons, and that's a pretty fascinating idea, at least. I think so, because it feels a little bit different from other seasons.
I mean, the other thing that's really funny is Mushroom Boys, which with, oh my god, the most unfortunate haircut in the world. That was so phallic. Right?
Their designs, I was just like, I get it, I get it, you're trying to look like a mushroom, but I don't know.
That was the joke. I got the joke, but oh my god, I didn't expect a choreographed dance either.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
They felt like kind of almost like Pokemon trainers, you know, when there's like the Pokemon fanatic.
I really like insect Pokemon, so I only catch Beedrill.
Yeah, it felt very much just like the Pokemon trainers that dress up to be with their Pokemon and they have like matching aesthetics. It just reminded me of that.
Yeah, 100%. But I think despite the fact that, you know, genre convention obviously informed Mushroom Boys of what it is that they were going to do, a little bit of exposition, a little bit of fighting, a little bit of shenanigans, I do think, as one of my highlights, maybe we'll speak to it more as we go on, maybe we won't, so I'm taking the opportunity to get it out of my system now. Geckomon's fight with them was really interesting, insofar as Geckomon's not used his signature attack yet.
No.
All he's done is just punch and beat things a whole bunch, and he's not actually done anything. So I think, you know, then the contrast with Wolvermon coming in using the fire to destroy the spores and stuff like that was really cool to see. So I just think it's really fun to see that just this raw immaturity out of Geckomon, which is obviously a reflection on Toma. So it's just like, there's going to be something really cool popping off, and I know when it's going to pop off because they already showed us the how and the why and the when.
Yeah.
The egg, when it has a little sinky pattern and it lights up every single time that there beats. I'm going to guess heartbeat to be literal.
Yeah, I think it's literally a heartbeat.
At least their wavelength of thinking.
Yeah. But I don't know, the way that Geckomon fights just reminds me kind of like Luffy.
Yeah.
Just like, especially when he gets all big when he's just eaten Tomoro, and it's just really funny. But speaking of which, I'll see if I can find the comment, but let's see.
Is this about the voice actors?
Yeah, it's from Lazy Croconaw, fantastic name, and Sabo and Tomoro have the same voice actor, and I think, like, I was at the gym when I was reading this, and I immediately messaged you guys. I was like, oh my gosh, Sabo is tomorrow, and I'm like, oh my, that, we're just going, like, through all of the One Piece voices in Digimon, which I guess we'll find out a new one each week, which might be interesting.
Yeah, maybe. I did joke about doing One Piece bingo for the show. I think we might have like 4-ish characters because there's like the Otama, Zoro, and Sabo.
Yeah.
I think there might be the Lilith as well, the Vegapunk Lilith.
Oh yeah.
The Reina, I think.
That does sound right. I haven't checked, but that sounds they sound very similar at the very least. But I just thought that was an interesting one. I guess I jumped ahead a bit to the YouTube comments, but that was great. But we had like there are a few comments that were just arguing about if Frontier is like worse than 02, and I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah, that was so funny. Like, I mean. 02 was weird. I will say this. Like, I rewatched the season once I had a few more years under my belt, and I gotta say, it is bizarre how often the Chosen just punch each other in the head.
Oh yeah, it's like, I feel like there's more like team killing, or like, you know, not actually team killing, but team punching than any other season of Digimon, because like TK punches Ken, and I think he might have punched Davis as well. Davis probably deserved it. Yoli slaps Kari, and I'm pretty sure Kari slaps Yoli. Yoli slaps Ken as well. We're just
a lot.
We're just beating each other. The only one who doesn't like punch someone is Iori, but I'm pretty sure he was thinking about it.
Oh yeah. But it was just kind of, it was just funny. You know, like they were just slapping the crap out of each other. Just these kids. Which, don't get me wrong, in a stressful situation, I fully expect, you know, adolescent teenagers to do the exact same thing. But fuck, that was funny.
Yeah.
And I think like a lot of, there was a comment I read. It was just like, oh, at least it was better than like the part in Frontiers where it was like, oh, by the way, these two dudes, Dynasmon and at the time Crusadermon, now Lord Nightmon, just run around, kill all your friends, eat the planet, feed Satan, game over.
And that's literally...
Which I actually think is...
Yeah,
go on. You go.
I was just going to say, I really liked that, like, that was just kind of the arc, but I liked the first 2 times that it happened because it was like, oh my gosh, we're actually seeing the main characters lose, like, multiple times. But then it gets kind of, like, a little bit annoying, or it's just like, it's just the same episode. It's just, the kids show up somewhere to protect the area, and then Dynasmon and Crusadermon show up and beat them up and just eat the planet. And then that's it for, like, 5+ episodes. But we're roasting Frontier again.
I genuinely enjoyed it. I genuinely enjoyed that arc because, 1, I love that friendship couldn't beat everything.
Yeah.
And 2, it was actually, because I hated all of them. So seeing them all lose despite all their friendship was just, mwah, chef kiss.
Yeah, I would agree. At least it was something different.
I mean, look, we can sit here and argue the strengths and the weaknesses of every single Digimon season. And the long and short of it all is, they're fucking weird, and you like the one you like.
Yeah. But anyway, more highlights for BeatBreak is that I'm kind of glad that we're not jumping into new evolutions constantly. We're not learning a bunch of new Digimon all at once. It's kind of like we got an evolution in the first episode for Wolvermon. That's cool. We do see Kugamon kind of hanging out in the background, but we're not getting like every episode. We're not getting a new evolution. We're not learning a bunch of new Digimon names, which is kind of good because if you think about it, the first episode of the original season of Adventure 1999, that one had us learn Kuwagamon, it had us learn all the entraining level Digimon, and then we learned all of the level 3 Digimon, and then we learned all the kids' names. So we got 15
Digimon and 7 kids.
We had like more than 20 names that we had to remember. This one's kind of like a little bit easier, that we're not just getting an evolution every episode. We're not having, okay, episode 1 has an evolution, episode 2 has an evolution. And I kind of like that they're not jumping into just, this is just the evolution arc, because we're getting more of an introduction to the world and the characters as they are as characters, rather than jumping straight to the evolutions show, which is what a lot of Digimon seasons are. We get like, you know, we get our evolution to adult or level 4, like, you know, pretty much episode 1 or 2, and then we get another character's evolution like the next episode. It feels like they're at least spacing that out so far. I mean, it's still only 2 episodes in, but I've appreciated that so far.
Yeah, no, I loved it when Geckomon had. They were like, oh, we can show you the baby. Oh, we can show you the in training. Nah, you don't want to be here for all that. Just go straight to rookie.
Yep.
Which just sort of helps smooth things over, because the other thing too is we're dealing with what is basically a 4-man team.
Yeah.
And one of them already has access to an ultimate level Digimon.
Yeah.
So we're actually not going to be getting a lot of those Digivolution sequences, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Because it then means we get to spend more time world building and stake building. Both of those things are immeasurably important to make sure that you're still invested.
Yeah. And actually having us learn about the characters and their personalities. Like, Hyo, I think, that's the older character's name. I'm still surprised that he's like 22, which is such like a Digimon thing, because did you ever watch Digimon Data Squad or Digimon Savers?
No, I got burnt out by Frontiers.
That's completely fair. If it makes you feel better, Data Squad and Savers, much, much better. It's my second favourite season. There is a...
Yeah, but like, doesn't that one have the weird Agumon with like the weird nostrils?
Yeah, it's Shine Greymon. That one.
Yeah.
There's a character who's like their boss, because they work at like basically like Glowing Dawn. They're kind of like, they deal with Digimon messing up in the real world. And they've got, like, their boss. And their boss is, like, this, like, he looks really old. He's kind of like a big brick house of a man. And I always thought that he was, like, in his 40s. But he's apparently 28. I can't remember exactly where I read it, but I'm definitely, like, 99% sure he's, like, 28. Which, he does not look like a 28-year-old. He looks old.
I don't know. Anime's kind of funny like that. I think that's meant to be a joke, maybe. I don't know. I can't speak to it because I haven't seen it, but you know.
Yeah, but do we have any other highlights about this episode?
I like. Look, I knew a low energy episode was coming up. And that's kind of what we got, right? Like it was pretty chill. Like
it needed to be.
The battle sequences weren't as intense. We got a little bit more world building. It's a little bit softer. I did enjoy Toma losing his shit constantly. Yeah. Like this guy's probably somewhere around 17, 18, right? Like he is. He has no idea what's going on. He's just been kidnapped by a bunch of other people. He hasn't met them before.
And also there are monsters.
Gecko came out of his iPhone. Like there's a lot going on in this world. And I don't know, I feel like he should be putting up more of a fight at this point. Like I feel that he kind of, this is me transitioning into lowlights a little bit, for me at least.
Yeah.
I don't feel that someone like him would have just rolled over so quickly. And I mean, we do get a little bit of that where he tries to leave and then the Mushroom Boys roll up.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I just feel that he would just have already left at some point way earlier than when he did.
I mean, I felt like he reminded me a lot of Joe from the first season of Digimon. Like he's kind of responsible and reliable, and he's kind of more realistic in, oh my gosh, there are monsters trying to eat me, that's terrifying, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like, he is reacting to things not like an anime protagonist, but like a real person. And that's kind of nice that we have, like, a different kind of, quote, gold kid, unquote. So that's something that's an interesting thing, but yeah, I see what you mean.
I mean, the other low light is the fact that the Mushroom Gang looked that way, but like also that's a highlight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I totally get
I didn't want to see it, but I'm glad they look like that.
Yeah, I did have a low light. I felt like Tomoro's brother, so Asuka, not being dead feels kind of like a cop out. Like I get what they're doing, and it's kind of like the Eden syndrome in Cyber Sleuth, or like I feel like it's happened before in Digimon where they're just not dead.
They alluded to it in the Liberator comics, the Alice thing, right?
Oh yeah, and I remember the other one. Saying Liberator reminded me are the Digimon missing in action in Seekers, where they're kind of just like alive, but they're in a coma, kind of.
Oh.
So it feels a lot like that like, oh, they're alive, but they're also kind of non-responsive.
Yeah, we put them in the timeout zone for the story because we don't know where to put them now.
Yeah, it's just plot sickness. But
yeah.
I mean, it's not necessarily like a this is awful low light. This is just kind of like something I felt like, oh, I mean, I'm still going to wait to see what they do with that. Like, maybe they'll do it something completely different, but it just feels like a cop-out that we've already seen in Digimon. Like, in Seekers, it was permanent in some cases, but another character was brought back from being DMIA, so it's not necessarily, like, a forever thing, but it just feels like it's just Eden Syndrome or being DMIA, like in Seekers. So
I see what you mean by it being like semi-permanent to permanent, like because we do sort of see that. Like the Hyemon tries to use the freshly harvested E-Pulse to Digivolve, and then gets Kali marred by what I'm assuming is Gokumon.
Yeah, I immediately was like, that's either like Gokumon or it's Kugamon's ultimate form or something. But no, it's pretty much Gokumon. Like, I can't see it being anyone else, which is kind of nice that we're seeing all these new Digimon, and then we've got a Digimon who is fairly old and from like a while back in the franchise.
Yeah, I did anything even really happen with with Gokumon.
No, he stared at them. He gave them a really good stare and was...
No, I meant in other franchises.
I don't remember, actually. Like,
yeah.
I know that he's in the one of the upcoming virtual pets, the Pendulum Shambhala one. But let me see if he's actually shown up before. Oh, he was in Colon. Tragically, he was in Colon. He was in Liberator. I'm guessing he was just there in the background. But no, he's not really been in much.
Okay.
Wait, I've looked at the wrong one. No, I've looked up Gokumon the... Oh, no. We're talking about Goku with 2 U's, not Goku with 1 U, yeah. Okay. So... Yeah, Gokumon. K-U-W. No, he was in Cross Wars, The Young Hunters, and... Yeah, basically nothing. He's been in a few of the mobile phone games, Digimon Collectors, Digimon Crusader, Digimon New Century. He's on the upcoming Pendulum Color, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, he's only been animated in this now, I guess, and in Cross Wars, The Young Hunters Who Leapt Through Time. But no, he's barely been in much. He debuted in 2011, which makes sense, that's when Young Hunters came out, I'm pretty sure. But other than that, like, he hasn't been in much.
Because we could maybe see a Shakamon arc then.
That'd be really cool.
If we like, my main knowledge of him is through the TCG, so like I know that him and like a handful of others like can Digicross into the big golden level 6 or whatever that does a bunch of nonsense. So, you know, that's where my mind goes. Like maybe we get something like that. Maybe Fenrilugamon, not Fenrilugamon, the other one.
You'll scare Sean.
Yeah. The dog's coming back to get you, son.
Somewhere Sean is crying in a corner, but
that's by Uwu, man. It's crazy.
So yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see Shambhala come up, because that's like, again, from the new Pendulum Colors come out in like, I want to say February. There's like one based. There we are. Words.
Base Ed.
Base Ed. It's like, isn't that what the youth say? Oh, that is so base ed. I don't know.
Yeah, the kids in Shakespearean times, back when you actually had to pronounce it as ed.
Yeah, they were like, oh, that is so. What's the other thing? Based and something else is. I don't know. I feel old whenever I think about like slang. I'm still like, what? We aren't saying yeet anymore. We're not saying YOLO.
I do.
Oh yeah, I say yeet all the time. I'm very old. Yeah. Like, are we still dabbing? Like,
gods, no! Don't you ever?
No, we're not. No, we're not dabbing. We're, I literally can't think of anything that the youth do. I don't know. This is making some like Fortnite. Yeah, kids still like Fortnite, right? This is making someone Gen Z or maybe even Gen Alpha cringe at listening to us talk.
Yeah, if they're even into Digimon and they found you somehow, do you know what I mean? Like, that's a very, very narrow Venn diagram. Like, you could not see that under a microscope. I just feel like at least one person is cringing at this discussion. But anyway, probably.
What were we even saying? Oh yeah, the Pendulum Colors that are coming out in, again, February, I think. I can't be bothered looking it up, so February at some point soon. At some point, they've got the one of them's based in Shambhala, so I wonder if we're going to see more of that being prevalent in Digimon in the media, kind of as like a tie-in thing. Like, hey, you saw this from BeatBreak. Maybe you'll be interested in this, spending money on the Beatpet, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
so I can see the
Shambhala's presence, shall we call it?
Yeah.
Without getting into spoiler territory, obviously for some of the other media that has come out recently, cough, cough, Time Stranger cough.
Yeah.
It's kind of been canonically recognized where it previously hasn't. So if BeatBreak takes place in Shambhala, that would actually be kind of like crazy.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
We've got an anime for it, which would legitimize it so like beyond comprehension. It's great.
Yeah, it's kind of like how Witch and Lee which was originally its own Bandai property. It was the Magical Witch's virtual pet, which Bandai were kind of hoping it to have the same popularity as the Tamagotchi or the Digimon. It had the same prongs as the Digimon had, as the Mesu and Osuchi had, so for connecting, but it was a little bit too complicated and had too much going on compared to Digimon and Tamagotchi, which were more simplistic at the time, so it kind of fell off. But Bandai then incorporated the world of Witchenly into Digimon, so we have Digimon that are just canonically from Witchenly. The Digimon adventure novels even said that Wizardmon actually planeswalked from Witchenly to...
Planeswalk?
Yeah, that's what he did. That's what he did.
Let me open a portal with this magic spell and go to the digital world.
Yeah. So he went from Witchenly to the digital world, and that's the Digimon Adventure, Wizardmons, and his backstory. And then we saw Witchenly in Digimon Dreamers, which was the manga. And it's nice that it is just kind of like another level of the digital world. So we have like Shambhala, we have Witchenly as just other levels to the digital world. And that's something that's pretty cool, that they're kind of developing on how the digital world works and how it's kind of changed from the initial start of the franchise, where it was kind of like, oh yeah, there are floppy disks and cables, like the composite cables just kind of like strewn about the world, and that world's kind of changed with how technology has evolved since the late 90s.
I mean, I still love that aesthetic. I don't think they should have ever gotten rid of that.
Oh, I love it too, but like I feel like that's... I mean, we even have it in the servers and the continents. We've got the File Island, and then we've got the server continent. And then in Digimon Adventure Colon, even though I didn't like it, it was kind of interesting how they added a new continent, which was Cloud.
Okay.
So it's kind of evolved from just digivolved, if you will. It's gone from like it's evolved with the technology, and that's just coming from a tech standpoint. I just find that really intriguing, and I'm really glad that they've done that. But I still kind of want them to have like random old bits of technology just hanging out in File Island or Server Continent.
Just one rotary phone, just to confuse the youth.
Yeah, and like, I mean, or like the telephone boxes, like those still are around, especially in Australia, but they're not as common as they were back in the 90s.
800 Mum Dad.
And I'm just funny. Sitting here thinking of the reading writing hotline, because that, for some reason, can't remember any other phone number, can remember the reading writing hotline because of the ads in the 90s.
Well, do you want to just send it off for us real quick, since we're not sponsored?
1300-65506. People who aren't Australian have no context for anything that I just said.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's still active. Does it still like...
Of course it's still active. I'm not checking.
I'm not checking either. Like, I'm gonna call them up, like, live in this podcast. But anyway, we kind of went on a bit of a tangent there. But do we have any other lowlights for episode 2?
I think if we look at this like a pendulum swing,
yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Digimon pendulum,
lots of momentum,
if you will.
right on the up, big boom, and now we're coming down on some of that energy, and I'm hoping that, again, when it swings back up, we're going to be given some reward. Obviously, I reckon we're going to be, hopefully going into the digital world in an episode, maybe a half episode, something like that. Like, we're gonna have to start exploring the world. So I'm hoping that this next bit is gonna do something fun.
I feel like it's going to be like we've seen in quite a few of the recent seasons, where they spend like a lot of the first half of the series going into like an in-between space. The sort of like the one we saw in the first episode with the Fun Beamon and the Wolvermon fight. Like, it was kind of like an in-between area, because that's something that Digimon has had a lot of, that's like not quite the digital world, but kind of like a layer between both the real world and the digital world. So
the laser tag dimension.
Yeah, the laser tag dimension. I don't think we're gonna be going to the digital world for at least like 10 to 20 episodes, but that's just the feeling that I get.
Okay.
But also, I think it was the same in like Tamers and Savers, where they spent like the first 20 or so episodes just doing things in the real world. But yeah, again, it could just have jumped to like going to digital world in episode 3, and I could be completely wrong. This could age terribly, but that's just for some reason how I feel.
Yeah, no, look, I don't know. Just because of how obviously I was swept up with episode 1.
Yeah.
But like, just because it had so much momentum, I'm kind of, in my mind at least, I'm imagining it to carry forward just a little bit more, like bring everything into that sort of tighter bit. But again, like, we are talking about the genre convention of anime, so there is going to be the cool, you're going to have to wait 10 episodes before there's a payoff kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we did get a payoff and a lot of answers in like episode 2, you know?
I
already
was
said
surprised.
that.
Like, it did address a lot of things.
Yeah. So, I wouldn't be surprised if we get in there sooner, but at the same time, again, genre convention, I'm not going to exactly lose my breakfast over us getting in there in 10 episodes either. As long as everything's established correctly, the payoff's going to be wicked.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think that I like hated this episode at all. I think it was a really, really strong episode, but I just feel like it gave us basically everything we needed for episode 2. It gave us a lot of the world building that we needed for this.
Yeah, I agree. It's a lot of setup, so it's about the next step, right? Like, we've got more of a solid ground as the audience to know what the next step's going to be, where we're going. I hope that next step is going to have that really cool punchy stuff that we're seeing so far, because that's what I want to see.
Yep.
Obviously, I don't represent everybody, but I am a goblin, and I want to see some action, I want to see some violence, and I want to scream, and that's just why I love Dragon Ball Z.
How have you not watched Digimon Savers? You would love Digimon Savers. It is just like, it literally, the main character just punches Digimon. That's what he does. That's his thing.
I'm not going to lie, I think I'd be a lot like Marcus in that regard. If I were ever in the digital world, I'd probably just punch up on some Digimon as well.
I feel like I'd probably be more like Joe. I mean,
I can see that. It's not just the glasses, but I can see that.
It's not just the glasses. No, I feel like I'd be like, I'm too scared to touch anything because I don't want to get eaten by a plant. But I feel like if I had a really cool Digimon like Palmon, I feel like I could come out of my shell. I could be brave, but I feel like realistically, I'll just see a Dakugamon and I'll just cry.
That's alright. I'll end up having a Hagurumon and I'll just yeet that thing at a bad bastard and then just have it shoot gears and things out of that, so it just becomes this gear explosion and then eventually becomes a Guardramon.
Yeah.
All the way up into a Machine Dramon.
Oh, of course. Meanwhile, I'm crying whenever I see a Virus-type Digimon because any Digimon that I like except for Airdramon is a Data type. So I'm just going to be having a terrible time.
Right, you handle the vaccines, I'll get the rest.
Oh yeah, I'll have a great time with the vaccines that are not the bad guys because they're vaccine, and the vaccine's usually the good guys. But anyway, who was your favourite character?
I don't know, something society.
Oh no. The bad guy's man. From the scary door. I think about the scary door from Futurama all the time.
Sure.
Yeah, it's the...
I have no memory of the scary door for some reason. I have seen all the Futurama, but I'm blanking.
It's the Twilight Zone reference where it's like, I have invented the ultimate enemy to the human race. This is the scariest monster ever, and I've done it. I've invented this scary monster. And then it's just a man walks out. It turns out it's man. And
oh. Yeah,
I don't know why. I'm easily amused. But anyway, well, who was your favorite character?
That is so true, though. Thank you, Twilight Zone, but not really.
What was your favorite character in this episode? Because I'm boring, and I picked Gekomon again, but it was almost Kyo. Like, I think
it's a default that we're both going to pick Gekomon, so we're going to have to find a second favorite.
Yeah.
I think my second favorite character is actually, God, I can't believe I'm saying this. I think it's actually the Mushroom Trio.
Oh my god, yep, that's fair. I mean, they're memorable.
They're all one personality split over 3 dudes, right? Like, that's a single character as far as I'm concerned.
I hate Shamblemon so much, though.
Yeah, Shamblemon and Mushroomon showing up and actually doing some work for once, like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah. Oh, the Shamblemon episode of Ghost
actually
Game was
decent, because they don't get anything.
No,
you know what I mean?
The Shamblemon episode in Ghost Game was very creepy and had like a lot of picking mushrooms off skin, and it was kind of like gross.
Oh.
But I don't like it as a design. Yeah. I feel like it's just a lazy design.
Oh.
It's just Mushroomon, but with less details and a different color.
I mean, Black Agumon, right?
Oh yeah. Like a lot of recolors I don't like. Some of them are fine. I like.
Whoa, Kobe! You can't just say that. Not after what I just said. Come on, dude.
I'm just saying. Okay. I get your joke. I get it.
Don't get cancelled now.
No, I mean like the Palmon recolor, Aruamon. I love that, even though it's just like slightly different. Madoki Betamon is still annoying because it was different in my memory.
Yeah, that's like a yellow-green.
But I feel like it was the fault of like the small old CRT I played on as a kid. But in my memory, it is pink and like fluoro green. It is not those colors in real life. Well, not in real life, but in,
I mean, yeah. It's like Digimon World 1, I think you ran into Betamons and Madoki Betamon.
Yeah, but in my memory, it had a pink fin.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. There's no existence of pink fin Madoki Betamon. Anything that is out there is like not.
Nah, I'm sorry. This sounds like the Mandela effect.
It is. It is the Mandela effect with Madoki Betamon. It doesn't like the only time it's existed is if someone's just recolored a Betamon and given them the wrong colors. But anyway, so my pick Gekomon because I'm boring. Your pick the Mushroom Squad because you're valid.
Well, no, hold on. We both picked Gekomon. I'm deliberately having to pick another one because we can't just say Gekomon every episode.
Good point.
So I'll pressure you for a second favorite.
Okay, Kyo. He seemed nice and he cooked everyone food and he's definitely the team mum and I like him.
The teen mum.
Team.
Oh no,
Team
mum. Sorry. I was like, what? Where did you get that from? My bad.
He's not the team.
Yeah, he's 22. Yeah. There's no way he's a teen. That's why I was like, what are you talking about?
No. Anyway, ranking out of 5, what would you give it? Because I give it a 3.5, not because it was bad, just because it was necessary, and I'm excited to see more, and it was some great world building.
Yeah, I think in the world of, anime and manga storytelling, stuff like that, this is very much a you gotta eat your vegetables kind of episode.
Yeah, which is funny, because Tomoro doesn't like broccoli.
Well, he can still eat carrots, that's still a vegetable, and the jury is apparently still out on tomatoes, according to the vegetable section at least at the supermarket. But look, this is a necessary evil kind of episode as far as like structure and blah 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 is concerned, so I think I would agree at 3.5. I do think it's just one of those unfortunate things, again, to genre convention for anime in general, but I still had fun with it. I'd actually be tempted to give it closer to a 4 because I haven't hated it, because I enjoyed the revelations of like the impulse bites, the victims, the Digimon, the Hyemon remembering who they've eaten. Like that alone is a harrowing idea.
Yeah, I really like that.
That's insane.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look, I gave it a 3.5 because I don't want to start giving out things like I wouldn't want to give it a 3.9 because that's how I actually feel about it. But if I start like giving like, 0.5s are already kind of like a little bit of a cop out. But I gave it a 4 for episode 1, so I feel like I can't give it a 4 this time because it was slightly less enjoyable, but only very slightly. It was still enjoyable. But again, I would give it a 3.9, but then, like, when does it stop? Will I give something a 3.8.8 points? Not point. I'm doing an IP address. No, am I going to give it a 3?
Chat, we just out here doxing ourselves. BRB.
And I'm not my actual IP address. I was just, to be fair, I do actually, like, my web server went down the other day and I had to, like, recheck that all my IP addresses were the same, so I do still have, like, that file open on my computer right now, so I think I just looked over. I didn't start reading it out, but anyway, where would my ranking stop? It'd be, like, 3.8, 7, 8, 9, or whatever.
Yeah, you get it 1 decimal point because the budget doesn't allow for 2. That's why.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna give it like a 3.5 because it was enjoyable. It gave me a lot of world building, but I don't think it was as enjoyable as episode 1.
Yeah, I'm agreeing on 3.5. Because I can't keep doing 0.7s mostly, but like the other thing as well is
I wrote down 4.5 for you last week.
I said 4.7 if I can be a freak.
Okay,
yeah, I did.
okay, fine. We're just doing 0.7s. You know what? I'm gonna give this episode a 3.7 then.
That's fine. I'm sticking with 3.5 because it is an important vegetable, like eat your vegetables moment episode, and as such. That means it needs to sacrifice on some of the more exciting bits to give you some of more of the dry exposition stuff.
Yeah.
And the Mushroom Boys are just an exposition device, and that's fine. But you do need that every now and again. And if I can make it through like 1,100 episodes of bloody One Piece in 2.5 months, I can't complain that much.
Oh, yeah.
This was definitely one of better exposition episodes.
It was just Skype here, but for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So I guess this makes the ranking pretty easy. So episode 1 is in first place, episode 2 is in second place. That's pretty easily worked out. Because that's how maths works.
Really? No way.
I'm good.
I have a writing degree. I can't tell you a damn thing about numbers.
I can do some numbers, but in any case, what are your thoughts about the series so far? We've kind of already gone over that a little bit, but I still think that it feels like it is fairly promising as a series so far. It can go completely downhill. I hope it doesn't. But so far, I'm enjoying it. I'm excited to watch more.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat. Like, all I wanted was some answers to a lot of the burning questions that I had, and we got those delivered and then some.
Yeah.
So I feel that this season's going to raise questions and then answer them pretty consistently, but there's still a notable number of unanswered questions.
Yeah.
So there's still going to be a couple of plot threads here and there for us, and then they're introducing new ones, right? Like, oh, cool, we found out that the brother's alive. Mad. But then his soul got eaten by a hyena and Kalimarred by a monkey, and then he disappeared into time space.
Yeah.
Into the laser tag dimension, right? Like, there's so much now that just adds all these little wrinkles to it. It's building beautifully, but, you know, I hope that we're not going to get stuck in exposition hell.
I don't think so. And that kind of brings us to the next point, which is what do we have to predict for next episode? So that is today's episode called Facing Mirrors. I'm feeling this is going to be a combat episode.
Yeah, that just from the name alone, and I don't try to do any reading for the episodes ahead of time. Like
I have no idea.
I listen to you tell me what their names are, and I'm like, what could this be?
Yeah.
If it's Facing Mirrors, it's going to be, if we take it literally, it could be against reflections, it could be against the past. We actually did find out that Toma's parents didn't die; they're just living away from them.
Yeah.
So maybe he has to deal with some measure of his past that's being reflected back at him now. Maybe he does fall into the digital world and someone's got the ability to create copies, right?
Yeah.
There's a few interesting ways that they could build that, and maybe that's taking it literally from the English when it's originally in Japanese. So there's going to be a translation wackiness happening.
Hang on, I should
there.
actually
So
see
I'm not
what
100% sure.
Japanese title is. Continue talking.
I am hoping actually, we get to see Geckomon's signature attack in action.
Yeah, or like I have a feeling that if the Hyemon are in this, I feel like they're going to evolve. Okay, it's literally facing me. It's literally facing mirrors. It's a Awase Kagami, so it's kind of like interacting with mirrors, I guess.
Yeah. If Hyemon evolves, I have only a single request. I want its champion stage to just look like a purple Ogremon in leopard print. Like an 80s glam rock star.
I feel like Hyemon could evolve into Fangmon. Like just an existing Digimon. I don't know why. I think that's a perfect level, I think.
I mean, Fangmon was kind of bloodthirsty in Digimon Survive, so...
Yeah.
I mean... And they do a lot of biting, and that's one hell of a jaw.
Yeah, it's got a big jaw. It's all the better to bite you with, my dear. But also, just a quick correction, the Japanese can be facing with Awase, but it also can be matching. But I feel like facing might be more accurate. But again, we don't know what the episode is yet.
Yeah, they've definitely gone with more of an artsy name for the episode, as opposed to more of a "this is what you're getting" kind of name. So I'm expecting some metaphors and maybe a little bit more soul searching before we can move on. So this might be another sort of low energy kind of episode until we get to the next phase, if you will.
Yeah. Do we have any other thoughts about BeatBreak before, or can I just wrap this up?
I mean, outside of just being really interested in Wolvemon's alternative fire capabilities, and just kind of mentioning, I think that like in the digital world, I don't know if this has been apparent to anybody else but me, but like Digimon represent the emotional maturity and mental states of their respective tamers and or partners.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. You can say whatever you want about Dark Digivolution. But it's far more interesting to sit there and see the immaturity of Toma through Geckomon, and then the maturity of his cohorts that he's being lumped into with the Glowing Dawn, where they can use attacks, signature moves and things to deal with greater threats. So I'm hoping, I don't know, we just sort of keep this sort of gentle trajectory of character growth for Toma. I don't know. I mean, I'm just... I'm really excited about the whole thing, and I like the way that it's subtly building things.
Yeah.
I just want to see more. That's it. This is an appetizer that made me more hungry, and I don't have anything to say, but I want more.
Yeah, me too. I'm very much excited for more BeatBreak. I feel like it has had a strong start, but I've been burnt by Digimon having strong starts before. I felt that while it was very much just like pandering with their first 3 episodes, I felt Colin had a pretty strong start, but it kind of went downhill very quickly, very immediately, like after episode 10 or so. So I'm prepared to be heartbroken again, but I hope not to be.
If the Geckomon merch is good, then we know that they're putting their everything behind it.
Yeah, I'm still surprised there's been like no Digivice toy.
I think we're going to get a reveal.
Yeah.
Wait, is there another toy convention thing happening?
There's Digimon Con early next year from memory. I think that's usually in like March-ish.
Oh, right, because they're going to have the TCG Worlds around like February as well and stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe if they can sync it up, the anime release with like a big convention sort of thing, maybe that'll be what they do.
Yep.
Because they'll already have rented the space and stuff like that, but I'm getting like way too like corpo meta on that.
Yeah. But so that's basically it for this week's coverage. You don't have any other thoughts, do you?
No, head empty.
Same.
Although I think we brushed past Postmon Pat, did we not?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of like spoke about like the comments. I guess I can see if there's anything else. Like, I just wanted to say the Sabo one was really interesting. Someone says it's a lot better than Ghost Game, and that's Demir Hackett. I liked Ghost Game, but I so far, I think this could be better than Ghost Game. Everyone seems to love Geckomon. Book Fam says, after watching 2 episodes, Geckomon's personality is so goofy and silly, unlike other protagonists. And then there's the multiple people just saying, no, the Frontier's not that bad. Lioli says Geckomon's
I didn't mean
to
upset the 6 other Frontiers fans in the world. My apologies.
Hey, look, something has to be everyone's favourite. Like, everyone... It'd be boring if we all liked the same season of Digimon.
What are you talking about? Season 3 was the best.
I like Atmon.
And I'm sorry to hear that.
No, Atmon's is actually like my favourite series of Digimon. It's like, my top 3 is like Atmon, Savers, and Tamers, and then I think Ghost Game's like just under Tamers.
Yeah.
But maybe BeatBreak can finally knock Tamers out of like the top 3. Hopefully.
How dare you?
I like
Terriamon
Tamers.
was the best. He was ready to genocide everybody at a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like
the ending was tragic, and the D Reaper thing was a mess. But
yeah,
let's try to stay on topic, I guess.
Yeah.
So I've kind of derailed us a couple times already.
It's okay. We both did. We
the
derailed
Trailmon
this.
has left the station.
Yeah, we derailed the Trailmon. There we are, Frontier fans. That one's for you.
There was Grand Loco of us to go there.
Hey, that is Tamers. So now we have Tamers and Frontier trains. But yeah, because Locomon and Trailmon are both trains, but they're like different. They're more it's the whole like, one's like more of an old timey train, I think, and Trailmon's more like a more recent one, I think. Like,
he's that brown thing that looks like an anglerfish out of Studio Ghibli.
The Trailmon actually have different designs. Like there are different. There's like Trailmon that's a mole. There's Trailmon that's like a worm.
Oh.
There's a whole bunch like variations of Trailmon designs because they're just like different trains. But
we need to get more of them in the TCG so that you can do your cyborg deck.
Hey, my cyborg deck is great so far. I just need, it's just Espimon and Naedramon. But in any case, we should wrap this up because I don't trust OBS to record for an hour, and it's nearing that. So thank you so much for listening. Contact me and stay updated. Leave a comment on this episode on YouTube to join the conversation, which means that I'll just be screaming them at Jake and he would have already read them. But, for a full list of ways to find the podcast across the internet, such as YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Twitter, head over to my Linktree, which is linktr.ee/LostinTranslationmon. If you enjoy the podcast or videos, you can show support by signing up on Patreon, get some cool rewards, and help me hit some milestones. And thank you to my current supporters on Patreon: Stephen Reeves, who's 164 on Archive Our Own, Kadawashi, Neobu, Seiju to follow Chisai on Twitter at Chisai236. 6, there we are, I knew I would stumble somewhere. Lizmet, who is Lekmon on Tumblr, Nicholas, Magnus, Blake, Lucas, Jasonmon05, Patrick, Jason, Shelby, Diddle Hazard, who's on Twitch at the Diddle Hazard, Tropiumon, Vmon, Tamer, Kasai, Big Bad, Beetleborg, Flavin, Bent Archer, Cappy, Cyber, and Voltic Helberd. You can also make honest donation on PayPal, which you found in the description. It's paypal.me/airdramon. You can also donate to me on my coffee account, ko-fi.com/airdra. And thank you again so much for joining me, Guz. Have you enjoyed talking about Digimon again?
I seldom think there will come a time where I will not enjoy talking about Digimon.
And then we can start our Neopets podcast.
Oh my god, yes, please. I have so much to tell you.
You really do. No joke, Guz has, spreadsheets about Neopets.
Yeah.
Well,
look, to be fair, it was created in the 90s. It's been, some near 30 years, right? 20-ish, right? If you want to play loosely with the numbers, sure.
Yeah.
But, that thing should have died, and there is no information on the website anywhere to tell you what to do, so I just decided to compile, and now I am just a freak with 1,000 spreadsheets.
Totally valid. But anyway, thank you so much for listening. If you're watching / listening to this on YouTube, do the like, comment, subscribe thing. And of course, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Bye!